Hello and welcome to the Old Man Orange podcast. I'm Spencer Scott Holmes.
And I'm Ryan Dunigan.
And last night at this magical time of 10 p.m., this new showtime they brought out, I don't know if that happens at everybody's theater, but it sure happens here.
Probably because there's nothing else to do on a Thursday night in Tuolumne County.
Well, it's because like the guy at work there told me like, yeah, we want to see if we can try to bring people in because January is more of a dead month. There was fucking nobody in the theater,
but the three of us.
Yeah, and when we left, it was almost like there was no employees left. They're like, well, they'll know their way out.
Yeah. It locks behind them. They're good.
Yeah, they've been here.
Yeah.
But we went and saw Parker with Jason Statham.
Yeah, and it was okay.
Yeah, it was kind of sad because
sum it up. Just get no suspense, no build up. Yeah, it's okay.
It was okay. Well, I don't know because like it's based off these books, which I wish I knew the guy's name, but the only reason I really know is just because the special features on Payback, the director's cut, not the regular Payback. It has to be on the director's cut one for the special feature. Mm-hmm. But it has the guy that wrote the books talked about it, and the Parker character is the same character he's in like the Lee Marvin Point Blank movie from like 1969 or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then Mel Gibson's in it in Payback in the 1999 version. And apparently there's other books that like turned into movies throughout time, which I'd like to go and see. Because those two movies are amazing, Point Blank and Payback.
I wonder if this is like a book series, because it's been going on for that long. I wonder if it's kind of like a Goosebumps type of thing, where he just cranks them out real quickly, and they're really short
Well, I think
books.
there is like over 20 of them, but I mean, it's been written for like 40 years, so I don't know if it's like, Goosebumps was like 40 books written in like 5 years. Yeah. Well, it's kind of like the 007 books. They're all written in 10 years, pretty much.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Oh, man.
Well, I guess Ian... Then again, they're only like 200 pages long, so
they're
when
all
you
pretty short books. I never read one, but I know they're all short books.
Yeah, they're all like I think back then they just made a lot more shorter books, because nowadays it seems... The idea of releasing a book under 300 pages just seems kind of strange.
It seems kind of half-assed to a lot of people, I think.
Even though, personally, to me, like what I've always known is that a book that's between 200 and 300 pages is always a much better story. Because once you get, like, over 400 pages, I've never read a book that was over 400 pages that I thought, yeah, all that should be in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I'm still working on Neil Young's book, and there's some parts it's like, dude, you could have trimmed some of this shit back. Because, like I said, there's like some parts where it's like, today I stubbed my fucking toe, and I'm writing about it in my autobiography. It's just like, okay,
Well, it's like
you read a Chuck Palahniuk book, it pretty much trims most of the fat. It gets right to the point.
Well, after I read Errol Flynn's book, which is like 370 something pages,
I want to borrow that from you.
That's that book. You read this guy's life, and it's the most amazing fucking thing ever. That you're like, there is no reason. Nobody's life is nowhere near as interesting as Errol Flynn's. Why does it have to be over 400 pages? But even just regular novels, I always just feel like, and I think it's because books don't really have like an editor, or they don't have a bunch of people looking at it like a movie. Like, well, you know, Jim, you should trim that out right there.
It's like one or two guys, maybe.
That won't fit as many. We won't be able to have as many slots at the movie theater at this time. But like a book, it's just like, well, did you spell everything right?
Yeah.
Any grammar misfunctions?
Oh, there's a comma there. It doesn't belong about that,
Well, that sounds like effort to go back and find out where that is. Well, we'll just, 780 pages. Who's going to complain?
Yeah. Well, like, it's, for instance, Anthony Kiedis, who's one of my favorite singers. Scar Tissue, good book. But there are parts in that book. It's like, I really don't care so much about you stealing Slim Jims from a 7-Eleven or, like, stealing, he stole ski equipment from some big ski resort or something like that, just, like, stuff that had no real relevance, I thought. I mean, there's some interesting stuff, like, okay, yeah, he was jumping off, like, of, like, rooftops of, like, hotel buildings into pools. That was pretty interesting. But then, like, other stuff is just, like, okay, just talk more about drug use and all that. That's the interesting stuff.
Well, yeah, there's things like that, but I'm more else even mentioning, like, novels. Just, like, whenever I've read a novel that was, let's just say it was, like, 700 pages, it just feels like a movie that was, like, a movie first draft script that wasn't edited down. Because you can just literally see it's like, well, that doesn't really have, I mean, maybe expands a little bit, but...
I'll be honest, I don't really read a whole lot of I don't really read a lot of fiction. I mostly read nonfiction.
Well, for me, it's like I just don't like that novel format necessarily, and I guess this just comes from watching a lot of movies and things like that, where I don't like and I know this is the main reason that like a lot of people love novels, but I hate the describing words. Like, I don't need a paragraph to describe something you could describe in 2 words. And this thing about like autobiographies and stuff, like in nonfiction, the way that that's written, it doesn't have like that ridiculous amount of describing words, and I think that's why I like that a lot.
In Chuck Palahniuk books, he'll get like this. Like, that's one of the few like.
Now he's one of the few. Well, I think here's the thing, because he keeps it under 300 pages. And if you keep it under 300 pages, you can like keep a good interest in there.
The only book...
It's like the Clockwork Orange book, too. It's like
Yeah.
200 and something pages.
Clockwork Orange, when you first read that, though, it's kind of hard to stomach down at first because it's written in the, oh, me brothers, my Chevy, and this Gavocha, or whatever. It's kind of hard.
Well, it's not really like,
you
it's not
pick
hard to
up on
stomach
it, though.
down. It's just, at first you just kind of are a little just confused at what's going on.
By like 4 chapters in, you get more of the feel of it, I think.
I always thought that book is like, the thing to do is you read it and then reread it the second afterwards, because by that point you know every single word, what it means and everything.
Yeah. And then, but like, Chuck Palahniuk, he's probably one of my favorite fiction writers. And like I said, I don't read lots of fiction. Actually, no, I do read lots of fiction. There's just more pictures than words in that.
Yeah.
Batman and like
Batman's
and New Avengers.
non-fiction.
Batman and New Avengers. It'd be awesome if that was like non-fiction. But
If
no.
you just put a
That's not the world we
non-fiction
live
sign
in.
over your section, it can be non-fiction, because in your own house, you make the rules.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when you get
I think it
organizing
would scare away house guests though if that was the case.
Maybe.
No, but anyway, we should actually talk about the movie real quick. Get that out of the way.
Get that fucking thing out of the way.
Shit.
No, it wasn't bad, but once again, let's explain this.
It wasn't good.
It's like a 700-page book. Maybe if the movie was trimmed down from like a 2-hour movie to an hour-and-a-half movie, now it wouldn't be anything amazing, but I feel like the pacing would be a lot better, though.
Well, the thing about it is the movie starts up, and all right, let me tell you what.
The intro is kind of cool, even though it's pretty much the trailer.
Yeah. No, but
It's the long version of the trailer.
yeah, kinda it was. No, but the beginning of the movie, I thought that was decent. And when I first saw the trailer to this movie, I assumed that it was going to be kind of like, okay, it's going to be kind of like a. They're trying to aim for the guys and the girls, putting in
Pretty
Jason
much something
Statham.
kind of like The Mexican or like Mr. and Mrs. Smith
Mm-hmm.
or Night and Day, one of those kind of movies. And those movies can either be really good or not very good at all.
For a second, when you said the Mexican, I was like, yeah, even the Mexicans, like, because Jennifer Lopez is in it. But no,
Well, I love that
the
movie,
Mexican.
you-
Okay, yeah.
You know, like some Mexican guy's gonna pick up that movie, The Mexican, and just sees like there's 2 white people on the cover.
It's kind of like a Japanese dude picking up a copy of Last Samurai.
There's a fucking white guy right there.
Tom Cruise with his grunge rock hair in that movie.
I know. You could have played Kurt Cobain like the second half.
I was
of that
actually
movie.
just thinking that. Yeah.
Well, if Kurt Cobain had like dark hair.
If
I don't know.
if he lived,
Well, let me rephrase this. Let's find a better grunge rock hair. He could have been like Eddie Vedder.
Eddie Vedder, yeah. Let's say if Kurt Cobain lived past
I
27.
guess Tom Cruise just kind of has more of a Kurt Cobain look if Kurt Cobain had like brown hair.
Yeah. I guess we just see what you mean. Anyway, but fuck, what was that? Yeah, like from the trailer, I'm like, okay, this is gonna be kind of like a PG-13 kind of, aiming for the guys and the girls, trying to, But then when I found out the movie was rated R and they showed more action, I'm like, oh, this movie actually might be pretty badass, and maybe Jennifer Lopez is just there just as the girl in the story, and. Which I'm not trying to sound misogynistic when I say that, but it's just one of those things. She was when I actually saw the movie, it really was much of the case of my first interpretation from the trailer, because it came across just like, okay, here's Jason Statham, and then it kind of like, he's a badass, he's a con man, but then but then once it got down to like when Jennifer Lopez came into the story. I mean, I'm fine with that whole fish out of water thing and the girl adapting and all that kind of stuff, but it was just very slow and it almost became kind of like a comedy at parts.
Well, it wasn't even like a comedy. It just might be like
with
her
and her mom
pacing
and
went really slow, and yeah, she's like a 40-year-old lady that lives with her mom's house now, and it's just complaining.
divorced.
She's like, well, yeah, she's divorced and everything. I know that like she like got like screwed in like the movie or whatever in a sense out of all her money and fun stuff, so she's paid like her boyfriend must be like, douche! He's just like, oh, I'm dating this 16-year-old girl. She's paying for everything. Here, pay all those bills that I had. Oh, yeah, that Mercedes? It's going to be repossessed soon. See ya!
I'll be at Applebee's with my bros!
Douche!
He's like saying that as he's riding off on a jet ski.
Yeah, I know, because they're like,
2 girls in his arms, yeah.
But so, at first I first saw it, I was like, we watched the movie before they explained what happened. I was like, is she 40 years old and living at home still?
Yeah, you turned me and asked me that. Is this what's fucking happened? Like, maybe she's Jennifer Lopez playing like a 25-year-old. Would be the first time they try to pass that shit off.
Yeah. Well, then she's kind of then later on she's just kind of complaining like, oh, I just got to get out of here, like my mom, she's horrible. She just sits around, watches TV, and lets me live here for free. And it's just one of those ones like, you're living in a really fucking nice area in Florida. Really?
Like,
is this all, you know what I mean?
It was Palm Beach, I believe, right?
Yeah, that's where it was, Palm Beach. You know what I mean? You're not like living like in a trailer park, where Brad Pitt comes by and beats you on the weekend.
California, was that movie?
No, I was thinking of this other movie I saw, but
California spelled with a K, folks.
Yeah, no, it's not California with the K. It's same characters though. It's pretty much.
You know, Brad Pitt, he always plays like the most like badass, good-looking guy, or he plays the most hillbilliest son of a bitch alive.
It's literally just like California. It's both Brad Pitt and what's her name, Juliette Lewis. Same. It's another movie with them.
Same cast.
But, yeah, same cast, and they're both kind of like trailer park people. Except for Brad Pitt in this one like works at like this bar or whatever, and she like lives in a trailer park. I watched it on Netflix. And I don't remember what it was exactly off the top of my head. It was just one of those ones like, ooh, a random Brad Pitt movie from like 1993. I think it was a made-for-TV one or something like that too.
Oh, okay.
But it was one of those ones like dealing with like poor people and them. This is another problem I have.
There was no pirate.
This is another problem I have with a lot of movies. Whenever they show poor people, they have to always make them dysfunctional families. They live in trailer parks. They're racist. Like it's like they always make poor people look so horrible when they make a movie about poor people.
Yeah, they do. Unless it's Clerks.
Yeah, unless it's Clerks is one of the only
Kevin Smith movies in general. Yeah.
That makes like just mainly that.
Credits him with intelligence.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. But anyway...
Kevin Smith movies, they get richer as they go on. Like, the Mallrats kids, they feel like, oh, now these people are a little bit more better off.
Well, we just focused on them on a day off, and, like, Brody was still living at home.
Yeah.
And they, like, chasing Amy. It's like, oh, that's, like, late 20s. That makes sense. Early 30s makes sense for them to be at where they're at. Zack and Miri Make a Porno goes back to kind of, like, Clerks,
really poor,
though. Yeah. But anyway, what was I at? Oh, yeah. Well, this movie right here, it felt kind of like the R rating was just kind of tacked on. Because with the exception of, like, 2 or 3 tit shots, like 2 action scenes that get a little violence.
In a pocket full of fucks.
That sounds like a good indie band from the 90s. Pocket full of fucks.
Yeah. But that's really, there was, I mean, like, yeah, because the violence, I don't know, just nowadays, really the only thing was, there was just kind of like Jason Statham was just covered in a lot of blood. That was probably like the most violent part, and then he gets like stabbed in the hand.
That was the coolest part of the movie, when the knife man or whatever goes to his...
When the knife man, whatever. It feels like a fucking Metal Gear Solid 1, or no, not like the original Metal Gear game, because they always have like, it's like Machine Gun Kid.
I was about to say Machine Gun Kid, yeah.
Knife Man.
Now they shoot the name like Big Boss. Like, he's just like, that's just a badass name. Back there, he's like, he's the big boss. We have to stop him, Well, we're talking like 1940s, Metal Gear Solid, I don't know. No, anyway, but this one, it was just the whole thing with the R rating. I think they really just used that because when I first saw it, I'm like, I'm not gonna see this movie. And like, oh, it's rated R and it says like strong violence, and like this actually might be kind of good. And just like, oh, the strong violence just in these 2 scenes, and maybe if you add,
there was like 2 or 3 like real violent scenes. I mean, when I say real violent, I just mean like partially violent, more than just like somebody getting punched.
Yeah. And they had the. Then, like, the Thing was the bad guy in the movie. I'm forgetting the dude's... Michael Chick Douglas.
Yeah, the Thing from...
Fantastic
Four.
Yeah,
not the Thing from The Thing.
Oh, yeah. Ben Grimm. There we go. That thing. No, there's the part... I want to say this. There's a part when they're actually doing their heist at the end of the movie. And they're sneaking by the cops. They're just, like, barely, like let's sneak by. The cops are overlooking this balcony. And it's just, like, they're, like...
Fucking lights are on everywhere.
And they're just... You see, like, the Thing and his, like, few friends falling behind him.
Steve gear, like, going like, okay, we'll just get by him here.
It's like, how do you not notice the Thing walking by in a black wetsuit?
Yeah.
He's fucking huge.
No, I don't know. It's just those ones like...
Michael Chick Douglas, he's a pretty good actor, but this one... I mean, to cut you off, but he's a pretty good actor, but this one he just seemed kind of like, I'm evil. I'm content with that, and I'm aware,
Then they have that...
It's what I do.
Then they have that Mexican guy, or at least he plays Mexican guys in every movie from, like, Boondock Saints 2, and he's in,
He had a bit part in Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah,
he was one of the vegan cops.
He's in, like, a lot of stuff. I always see him all the time. He's also in, what the hell was that last, I'm drawing a blank right now. Mike Judge movie,
There's a Mike
Extract.
Judge film? Oh, I didn't see it, Extract.
He's in that movie,
I want to see that one.
But he's just in a bunch of crap like that, too. Yeah, that guy. You just see him all the time, and he's like, he's really just, this guy must only have like 1/8 Mexican in him or something, because he's very white looking, but he almost doesn't look white enough to be white, but then he doesn't look Mexican enough to be Mexican. I don't know really where he is. He's kind of like lost in translation.
Well, he grayed up his hair in this movie, too.
Yeah, so it made him look even more whiter.
No, but everybody in that whole, like, circle, except in Michael Chick Douglas, they all seem kind of like, we're bad guys, right? Oh, okay, I guess. They didn't really seem like they were all bad until the very end. They're like, someone's in the fucking house, come on! And all of a sudden, there's the big black dude that was just kind of there the whole time, who didn't really say a whole lot. He just kind of like the quiet guy, and all of a sudden, like, as soon as he was left alone with Jennifer Lopez, like, I'm gonna rape this bitch. It's like, where the fuck did that come from? Like a switch went off.
At first, it just seemed like the only people that Jason Statham attacked in the movie were black people at first, because the first guy... he blows out the black. I thought he blew the black guy or shot him in the head while they're driving, but no, he just shoots him in the ear
with a shotgun somehow.
Yeah, and then next he shoots another black guy that he meets in the leg and takes him inside and uses him as a patsy for a second. And then a third black guy who's like a poor nurse strangles him like inside of. And these are the only people he's really like attacked so far throughout this movie. I mean, he hit a couple white guys in the beginning, but.
Well, these are the ones. Yeah.
It just all seemed like Jason Statham. It's just like, if you're black, you're gonna get fucked over in this movie.
Like there's a part where he was picking up a cab. You saw the cab driver was black. Like, no, don't get that. Oh, okay, he didn't do nothing. It's okay. He's gonna like steal the guy's car. The guy loses his job.
It is. Even though I know you haven't seen Payback yet, but like in Payback and stuff, like they make out the Parker character to be more like he isn't really a good guy whatsoever. Mm-hmm. You know, and this one I felt like he had more morals and stuff. And that one, it's like the very intro of Payback is he fucking there's a hobo guy sitting on the ground with like a hat in between collecting money. And he's like, thanks. And then Mel Gibson goes down, puts his hand thing. He's like, oh, thanks, sir, and then pulls out the money. And then walks off. The guy, or actually the funny part though is because it says like the guy's like, oh, disabled war veteran or whatever. So when Mel Gibson picks up the money and walks over, he's like, I cured you. And this guy stands up chasing him, like, hey, get back here. And then the another part, he bumps into the guy, steals the guy's credit card, goes to a fancy restaurant, spends a bunch of money, buys a bunch of suits. And that's just like the intro of the movie, is just him doing all these shitty things.
Sounds like Mel Gibson on a Sunday.
He's in he's in like a little cafe and he fucking like tips the lady like a quarter or something. And this one just more like Parker just kind of came across as like, well, he used, I can't remember the line, but he's just like, he had like more. At first I thought
he's like, I can do it. He's like, I don't steal from people who can't afford it. I don't hurt people that don't deserve it.
Yeah, it was like that. So, I mean,
that's my Jason Statham.
And that's really kind of how it came across. At first I thought like, does he not even kill in this one? Was he like fucking Batman?
He was like, I thought
because at first he wasn't killing people. At first he was just like injuring them.
Yeah, it's kind of.
And it was just on the other one. It's like he had no problem whatsoever killing people. That wasn't a big deal.
Very end of the movie, he's killing people left and right. Well, actually, by people left and right, all 4 or 5 of the guys that screwed him over. But there's a whole part where, like, whenever they had a death scene, the blood was super CG. Did you notice that?
Not. I mean, there was part whenever like it went like kind of slower and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I guess there was some CG blood added in there a bit. I don't know. I think it was like a mix.
I guess that sounds like nitpicking right there.
Yeah, it's like, whatever. I don't know. To me, like, people keep complaining about CG blood in some movies. I'm like, well, whatever. Because you know what happens is they probably do some real CG, or do some real blood, and they go, later on, in the editing room, they're like, you know what? Probably going to like make this look a little bit more, creative.
Now I feel like a dick. Now I'm thinking about, actually, no, CG blood actually makes sense. But no. But there's just parts of it.
I sound like that guy complaining about that live-action Sonic the Hedgehog movie?
There was the Sonic the Hedgehog fan film just went online, and it like...
And I was looking at this comment, and there's some guy who was like, yeah, I mean, it's not too bad or whatever, but, the CG could use some polishing, and it's just like one of those ones
it's a completely independent, non-profit movie. Shut the fuck up.
And I thought that, if anything, the CG actually looked really good.
Yeah. And then there's also, like, this...
because at first when I heard that, I was like, oh, the CG's just gonna look weird. It's gonna look like Power Rangers 1994.
Then, there was also, like, there was the, this is go back to, like, 2003, 2004, but there was the Batman Dead End, like, fan film, where Batman fights Alien and Predator and all that.
Which always just seemed like, I don't know, like, that guy's just like one of those ones, like, if you said, like, okay, here you go, you're gonna make an 8-minute long Batman movie, about whatever you kind of want, just that guy was like, fuck it, I'm making Alien versus Predator versus Batman.
He just must have really liked the Alien Predator crossovers, so they did have that in DC Comics. They had Green Lantern
just like
versus
the Judge
Aliens.
Dredd ones and stuff like that, too.
Yeah. He must have been a big fan of those. I never read them, but yeah. But anyway, no, there's somebody like in a comment section that said like, it was okay. They should have used the real Batman music, and they should have used the suit from Batman Begins. It's like...
Well, and it was made before Batman Begins.
2, they don't have the fucking money to go to Warner Brothers to get that.
Yeah.
This was a non-profit movie. The guy made no money off this fucking thing.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. When it comes down to fan films...
You get some of the bitches...
To me, it's like, I don't know. I don't think you should, like, you should just look at what's good, because no matter what, if it's an independent movie like that, there's gonna be flaws, because it's, it's just made by a bunch of regular Joes. Yeah. They don't have a budget, they don't have all this stuff, just be grateful for what you get. Yeah. And I was pretty impressed, because I thought that, the Predator and the Alien costumes actually, was like, whoa, that actually looked really good. I thought that was gonna look more like something you pick up for, like, a couple $100, but it looked actually like they put some effort in.
I don't know the detail of what, I believe, I heard one of the special effects guys that made Jurassic Park made that. So, I don't know. I have to look into that.
That's cool.
That's what Nathan Bumgarner told me. So, I like how he always used names nobody knows.
like this is very important.
Maybe like one other person listening. Oh, I know that guy. I met him once. You know.
Yeah. Well, he played the Riddler in the Drunk Batman.
Oh yeah, the guy.
Drunk Knight Returns.
Riddler in our live action Drunk Batman movie, the 6-parter. Anyway.
Yeah.
So
in the 6th part.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah.
Something about Jason Statham, blood, and violence. Oh well, just like those ones. Like I remember, like because at first I didn't know if he was gonna kill anybody. Because in Payback, the very beginning, or like the first job they do in the movie is they go to like take down these Chinese gangster guys, and Mel Gibson just crashed his car full on into him, and then they just unload ammo on him, take their money, and fucking go.
And this one he has morals. He's all kind of like cool about it. He's very
it's like I mean I don't know. There's like there's like 20 plus books, so maybe he changes over time.
Yeah.
Because the Mel Gibson one, that Payback, is based off it's called like The Hunter, I think is what it is.
I think this
and
one's
that's the same one that Point Blank's based off. So it's one of the books from the 60s.
I believe the opening credits of this one was based off something called Flash Fire or something.
Yeah, it was
like
a different book in this one.
Which there's a part I gotta say though, it's like
His name's like Richard Stark. I think that's the author's name.
It goes back to what you were saying though. Kind of like the whole
bad.
code thing. Like there's a part in the very beginning when they're in the heist and there's a guy who's just freaking out like, I can't do this. He's like, listen, get down on your knees, just relax. Like you have a girlfriend tonight, she's gonna fuck you. Like you won't believe. You know, he doesn't actually use it that way, but it's more or less.
That's pretty much what they say.
In a very elegant Jason Statham. It was elegant as Jason Statham can make it. Which Jason Statham, he's kind of like you pay for what you don't really pay to see him character act. You're paying to see Jason Statham.
Yeah, you're paying to see a Jason Statham movie.
And that's fine, you know. I mean, because what you really want out of a Jason Statham movie is a lot of action, is just a lot of violence, and unfortunately, you know, I mean, I like Transporter 1. The Crank films are awesome. He's good in Expendables.
He's good in all like
the Guy Ritchie stuff he's
Yeah.
in. Which actually, now I think maybe just one Guy Ritchie film. Oh no, he's in two. No, he's in
Lock,
Lock,
Stock,
Stock, and
and
Two Smoking Barrels.
Yeah,
He's just not the main character in it, so I kind of forgot for a second. But no,
he's not the main character.
Yeah, but
Transport was the first time he was the main character.
Yeah, he was also like Jet Li's sidekick in The One.
Well, he's in a couple Jet Li movies.
Yeah, he was like the Jet Li sidekick in The One, and
He
then
pretty
like
much,
he was the
when
bigger
he is
part.
the Jet Li. He's pretty much like Chuck Norris of Bruce Lee.
And then like you know he's like suddenly Sylvester Stallone's like sidekick in Expendables. Like how he must have just watched the Jet Li. How the tables have turned. You know?
People like me more.
Yeah. No, but he's like Jet Li's like, I taught you everything you know, because he actually kicked his ass a few times. They were in war together. I never saw war.
It just sounds, when you say it like that, it just reminds me like one of those ones like on the fucking set. Like Jet Li's like, Jason Statham, I need to talk to you really quickly. Just beat some fucking shit out of him. Okay, I hope you act better this time in the movie. Yeah. Now read my fucking lines properly.
But anyway.
Just like a fucking just Jason or Jack, don't hurt me again. Okay, take another beating.
That's what I thought. You want Lee, you get Lee, you fat. I don't know. I can't talk straight when I talk in an Asian accent. I talk in a super racist Asian accent.
That's kind of how Jet Li talks. Well, strange enough, I feels like in Expendables he has more of like, it seems a little bit more, I don't know why his accent seems more stereotypical in that one. Mm-hmm. Maybe because he's just surrounded by a bunch of white guys, pretty much. That kind of makes him seem a little bit more stereotypical. Mm-hmm. Then, I mean, you watch him in the other one, he probably has the same accent, but just, for some reason, it pops out more in that one.
Yeah.
I guess because there's not anybody else to have that accent with him.
Yeah. I was just thinking, though, like, this is back on Parker for a second, but there's the part in Parker where... I wish he was in the movie more. I really wish he was in the movie more.
Nick Nolte.
Nick Nolte.
No, really, if there's a reason to see this movie, it's Nick Nolte.
Even though he's very rarely in it, and he's just kind of like, there's a part or two where we leaned over each other. What the fuck did he just say? He's like, what the fuck was that? The other times you could usually tell, it's like, well, these guys are going after you. They have an inside. It's just like, is he like on the verge of fucking dying?
Well, it's like in Gangster Squad, I don't remember him being that unclear.
He was very much in Gangster Squad. He looked kind of senile, like he wasn't completely sure what was going on. It's like maybe like a DP was holding like cue cards and flipping them from like to read the line. He's looking right behind the camera or something.
Well, I think Nick Nolte's become one of those actors because he was really big like in like the 70s and 80s and whatnot, and then you didn't really hear about him too much, even though I know he's in a bunch of movies from out that time. And I think he's kind of has like one of those Malcolm McDowell kind of things where like all these young directors are like, oh, I fucking want these guys in my movie.
Yeah.
You know, because that's kind of how Malcolm McDowell is. He just seems like he's in so many things because just people like love him so much and they want him in stuff. And I think that's how Nick Nolte is too.
Already established audience will probably like see what I mean by this. People just coming in like, what the fuck are you talking about? Because this is going to sound so fucking nerdy. But Nick Nolte, To me, at this point, if they ever came out with a live-action Pokemon movie, he could be like fucking Snorlax or something like that. Just put that guy in a blue like teddy bear outfit or something like that. Like Snorlax.
Nulty.
He doesn't have to do anything. He could just, because that's what that thing does majority of the time, just sleeps. You can just put him in a big blue like teddy bear suit. You'd be fine.
I'm sitting on a beanbag pretty much.
Yeah.
No, he was...
Just show that for like a character banner, just like Nick Nolte is Snorlax. You know?
You know what's one part? This is part I thought was really strange in the movie, though. Okay, Jennifer Lopez's mom in the movie, who's like pretty much a brain dead like Mexican lady that sits around watches soap operas all day in her rich house, which nobody knows how she got this money, but we don't question that at the same time. Okay,
she must have blew a cartel guy at some point.
Okay, Jennifer Lopez never introduced Jason Statham to her, but all of a sudden, like Jason Statham shows up, fucking with like a knife wounds and bleeding and stuff all over, and she's fucking like they don't even show a scene where she's like, oh my gosh.
Jason Statham, like Jennifer Lopez is the one freaking out the whole time.
Yeah, Jennifer Lopez figured out just like, oh, it's okay. This gangster guy just came to my house all bleeding and stuff, and he likes to watch TV. What do you know? He took the dog out for a walk. Unlike you, J-Lo, you fucking bitch. Life's too busy to take the fucking dog out.
Can you make me some soup too, ma'am? Sorry about the blood.
But that's just, like, it never explained, like, when he's just there, just, like, and mom's cool with it. Like, yeah, whatever.
And she's just very, yeah.
I don't know, that's why, like, Jennifer Lopez just like, I hate my life here and stuff. It's like, I don't know, your mom seems pretty, like, chill and laid back. Fuck, you gotta take the dog out? Big fucking whoop. Yeah.
What was I going to say regarding, like, there's also parts her characters seem uneven. They show that she's in the midlife crisis because she just, like, she's been, like, divorced for about a year or so. She can't make a sell at her real estate job. And then there's a part where she kind of realizes she's taking Jason Statham around, showing him, like, different houses because he's pretending to be he's pretending to be like
Texan.
a Texan who's born in Ecuador, and he was in the oil business. And he was trying to look for a house, but he was really looking for like a hideout of where
he was looking for the Mexican guy's house from Boondock Saints 2.
Yeah,
Ricardo.
Yeah, was that his name? I thought that was just a made up alias.
Well, it was a made up alias.
But it was that guy though.
But that was the character though.
Really? Oh, okay. Well, they're looking for his house.
None of the other guys are Mexican.
Yeah. Well, anyway, but so they're looking for that dude's house, and then they end up coming to then she gets on to him. Which, that took way longer than it needed to. There's like 10 or 15 minutes of them just going around looking at houses, and you could have got to the point. You could have got to the meat of it. They had to show more of, like, J-Lo shit, what she was going through and all that.
Yeah, and it's like, that part was like, like, that really wasn't
It was just very
it wasn't really part of the story, so it's like, you didn't really give a fuck.
Yeah.
And that's why I just feel this movie's was ones, like, if you would just, I think if you put it down to an hour and a half movie, it would have been pretty smooth, and you probably would have been like, well, that actually wasn't too bad. Mm-hmm. Just because sometimes ones when you have a bunch of just pointless crap scenes in there, mm-hmm. It almost brings the whole movie down itself.
Because this really could have been a PG-13, kind of like the Mexican's a good movie.
Mexican's rated R.
That movie's really good.
No, Mexican's like that's a perfect example of how you make like that woman and guy movie.
Mm-hmm. That's a good flick.
Because that one, like, the thing I love about the movie so much is like when it's in the Brad Pitt scenes, it's just like the most darkest comedy, mm-hmm. And it just goes so bad for him. And then even like when they do the other scenes with
Julia Roberts.
Yeah, Julia Roberts.
And James Gandolfini.
Yeah, James Gandolfini. Like, that part was one's like, for some reason, her story, it's all kind of fun and funny, but like it doesn't come across as being like bad and like wasting my time. Mm-hmm. Like, it's still very interesting. And that's a perfect example. That movie should be like the poster child for like those guy and girl movies, like the date night movies or whatever you want to call them.
Which this seemed like one of those, I can't think of another. Oh, all right. I guess kind of like, even though I never really, I guess kind of like, not as good, but I guess kind of like Night and Day.
Well, yeah, Night and Day is like, and see, I know some people like that was once like to me it was like it was enjoyable enough. I don't know, Tom Cruise killing people, that's fine with me.
It was enjoyable, yeah.
It wasn't as good as the Mexican though.
Yes, but it's like I thought this is kind of like one of those movies. Only it's rated R, but it's barely rated R. Really.
Yeah, this was like borderline R.
Mm-hmm. And the whole part where he fights the knife man, cool. Part at the end, like where he's going in the house and going against them, it was all right. I mean, some of the deaths
cool,
were
but
cool.
It's like once you've seen a lot of action movies, it's like it's nothing.
Well, it was a lot of that kind of like hiding on the corner. Where are you? Where are you? You know, just all that kind of shit. And then I mean, it was kind of cool that how he outsmarted them by
that was probably one of the coolest parts. That practice part was one of the coolest parts was where he goes in the house and he like. You know, he clips the guns so they won't be able to work properly. And for some reason, he knows these perfect locations like fucking glue guns to the bottom of tables.
Which I was always kind of like, I mean, It worked for the movie, but I was just thinking, what if like one of them just like stuck gum underneath the table? Like, what the fuck? And they found the gum there.
Well, I do put a lot of gum under there, so putting the gun under there probably doesn't seem too weird.
Yeah. No, but the juicy fruit shit that doesn't really stick the gun. Bubblicious, that shit works. So.
Yeah, you get like the fruit by the foot gum.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I thought that died with the rest of the 90s.
I don't know. Did you ever try to take that fruit by the foot and try to see how much of it you could eat? It wasn't really possible to eat the whole thing because your mouth would be like the size of your head.
Yeah, I tried it. I tried it a few times. It didn't really work. But...
Well, I suppose your probably parents too. Like, cause back in the day, I remember that being kind of a little bit more expensive than everything else because it was probably like $1.50.
Your parents just turn around and look at you like, are you
and this is when
serious?
candy was like 50 cents, if not a little bit less than that. Mm-hmm. Well, back in the day when candy, you get it for 2 quarters. Unlike nowadays where you got to pay $1.50.
Oh, those were the days. Then you go down to the drugstore and get yourself a good old fashioned phosphate.
And buy yourself a yo-yo and a set of pogs.
$2.
$2, you see? But I just remember that was like
yo-yo and a set of pogs. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry. Yo-Yo's had that big comeback in the 90s.
Apparently, I heard this. There's this for somebody nobody knows, but Kevin was telling me that because he teaches at Jamestown, that those yo-yo people came back again.
What does he teach at Jamestown?
He teaches elementary school.
Okay.
But did you ever have those yo-yo people come to your school? Be like, yo, dudes, check out the yo-yos, and they do all these cool tricks and stuff, and kids are like, wow. And they're like, you too could be a yo-yo master for only $5.99 for the starter pack. But you really want the $25.99 one because you get the awesome glow in the dark one.
Those still exist.
I'm like, how the fuck do those still exist? That is like the biggest scam ever. You get a bunch of professional yo-yo people to show up to a school because children are fucking blown away.
I'm surprised the school allows that.
That's nice that the school must get a cutback from that. That was like fucking some mob dealing right there.
I remember early years of college. I ain't talking shit on you. I remember in early years of college, he was trying to bring yo-yos back. You were walking in with
I like yo-yos. Don't get me wrong.
You're just walking in go through the library like, yo man, just walking in a fucking yo-yo. Like, people are like, what the fuck? Like, that's right, bitch.
I remember because Wes and somebody else nobody knows, but I remember Wes was like, dude, that's really cool. And I brought him a yo-yo. He's like, thanks. It's like fucking like
you too can be a yo-yo master
for only $5.99.
I just imagine you go to these guys at Kevin's school, like, get on your hands and knees, teach me, show me how.
Show me the way. I don't know, yo-yos are kind of fun, though. I really do enjoy them. You just gotta be careful when you're indoors not to break any lights.
Yeah.
But no, I'm just surprised they still do that. Like, isn't that, like, to me, I just thought it was like, really? I thought that was like one of the ones like that. That just seems like such a scam. Because I remember it was like one of the ones like, they would charge you $5 for like just a regular yo-yo that you could probably go to Walmart and get for like $1.99. And then they would charge you like, I remember there was one like, it was like $25 or something like that, and it like
light up
and fuck and glow in the dark and do all kinds of weird shit. And you could like take it apart and all this stuff.
And then, you could customize it and do all this. I remember that. Yeah,
I'm like, how the only way is that the school got a cutback from that. Because it was not educational. It's not physical activity.
They almost had like some kind of like, I'm not sure if it was Nerf exactly. It was like a Nerf-like yo-yo. It was on a string. It was kind of like, for your mentally challenged friend, there's like no work or skill involved. So you just like shoot this thing down. It'll just automatically come back up.
And then they had the ones that had like the fucking ball bearings in them and stuff. Yeah. Where it's just like, you could spin for hours.
It's a professional yo-yo.
Is either that or it's like there was this 90s point where like parents and teachers got together like in some like secret closed doors meeting. Like, here's the thing. Like these video games
dim lights
are gonna fucking ruin children.
Same with
They're
Pogs.
Fuck it over. And these Pogs, fucking waste of time. What was a good toy when we were kids? Yo-yo. Fucking A, let's bring the yo-yo back. That's what kids need is good yo-yos. Remember when Jimmy got his teeth knocked out? That was a great time. Yo-yo.
You see Jimmy, like he's pushing a broom. He's the janitor with false teeth.
I want the yo-yos. They make me happy.
See, yeah.
See,
Jimmy, back to fucking work. All right, yeah.
Back to work. Fucking $4.99 an hour is not getting you anywhere, is it?
Oh, someday
I'll
get
glad
that.
You gave me the shack outside. Well, that shack is actually an outhouse, but
you're welcome.
Thanks for cleaning it up still.
Yeah. By the way, refill the paper.
If I catch a pillow in that outhouse again. But yeah, it's just like I was like blown away that fucking they brought those yo-yos back.
Oh my god, I still forgot about the people coming in, just like, just rocking the yo-yos and all. I remember they had.
Well, it's weird because you get these like professionals, and like when you're a kid, it's really hard to tell ages. I mean, they probably were only like 22 or something. Like really, like
a 22-year looks like a 40-year-old to you when you're a kid.
I will have to say that's probably one of the best fucking jobs you could ever have. Like just to be like what do you? I'm on the professional yo-yo circuit.
I wonder if there's like a 90s, like, you know, like teen drama about that or something.
Just like, come on, Jim, it's time. You gotta be for the big competition.
I'm not ready, man. It just
man,
all those eyes last time.
I chipped my best yo-yo. I've never used another yo-yo before. I can't do the walk the dog. It will go crooked and sideways. How can I live with myself?
I can't do the rock the cradle either, man. It's gonna come by. Remember what happened to Jenny? Like,
it's gonna wrap up.
He has like this black and white flashback of the yo-yo just getting off its string, like hitting his fiance in the head, hits her,
spins around her neck, fucking chokes her. She's on the ground, seizuring out, and dies. I can't live with that again. If it's not precise, it's not perfect.
It's not the way of yo.
You just called me yo. The main
Fuck, we're bringing
name...
the yo-yos back. That's what we're doing. That's what we gotta do now.
I tried to do that once. Nobody else like bought into it.
Yeah, you're rocking the yo-yo around campus, like Wes and like
mostly everybody like when you get older and you have a yo-yo around, people go like, whoa, you're gonna put somebody's eye out with that. Everybody gets like afraid, like you're holding like some kind of fucking like nunchucks or something.
I remember you're into so much and going back to Batman Drunk Knight Returns. You're like, well, we gotta have you knock someone out with this thing. What are you like? I got a yo-yo on me. It's just
I fucking just carried a yo-yo anywhere at that point.
Yeah, you even had like the sword sound when you pulled out like shing like that.
Well, yeah, not in real life, in the movie life.
Well, I could see Robin using a yo-yo. At least that point of Robin using a yo-yo.
Yeah, Robin now would. I don't know what the fuck he would use now.
There are times they show him using a slingshot and all that.
Yeah, he used all those kind of like.
That's like a good old fashioned like 60s.
Really, Robin, like that old fashioned Robin comes across as like child Link.
Yeah.
We're like Link's running around. Really, just child Link's is more like just like fucking like a pain in the ass Dennis the Menace. It's just little kid running around with a fucking sword and slingshot.
Just
and
fucking
bombs.
shit up. He's like this fucking kid. Won't believe it. I have this beautiful garden, right? He's going in there, pulling shit out, taking rubies, fucking chucking rocks at my house, grabbing what apparently there's fucking rubies hidden in the fucking rocks. I don't know how that happened.
He beat my chicken with a stick.
I swear, next time he attacks that chicken, they're all gonna jump on his ass all at once and fucking kill him. And I'm gonna sit there and fucking laugh.
But until then, I'm gonna plant these plants again. Hopefully he won't fucking come back again.
Oh, great. Now he's slingshotting all the fucking vases. That's great. That's all we...
You know what? Those have been my family for 4 fucking generations. 4 fucking generations. What do we got left here in Karaoke Village? It's the vases. I've made my whole life off these vases. Fucking asshole.
We're fucked if we're relying on this guy to save the fucking world. That's all I'm saying. We need to think this shit out. Maybe rule under Ganon wouldn't be that bad, really, when it gets right down to it.
Yeah, at least Ganon, he doesn't, chase our dogs around through the nighttime and throw bombs at them. And...
Yeah. Okay, occasionally we have to sacrifice a virgin to him or whatever, but beyond that, really...
One virgin!
One virgin
a month.
One
queen virgin! Come on! Come on!
Which, I have a quick question. This isn't so much Zelda, this is just that whole sacrificing a virgin thing. I never understood why sacrificing a virgin. It's because, they're sitting, okay, we're going to sacrifice this virgin so her spirit goes to, this angry god. Wouldn't the god want a slut? Wouldn't he want someone that knows what she's fucking doing?
Once you get, that god level, you don't want anything used anymore. It's like when you get really rich...
Well, she knows what she's doing, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, but it's like when real rich people, you take a rich person to the flea market and they fucking flip out. They're like, why would you want to buy a shit? It's used. You could get one brand new.
I guess that's a good point.
It's fucking 10 years old. Yeah, but it's fucking $2. So, don't you got $400 to spend on something new? No. I think that's the same thing. It's like up there, it's just like,
think about
I'm
that.
not fucking something used. I'm a fucking god. I want brand new.
At the same time, though, you think he also wants kind of
experience. I don't fucking buy it at GameStop. I buy it at Best Buy.
Best Buy or Costco just buys the whole fucking...
I buy 12 versions in a pack. Dude, speaking of Zelda, at the end of the month, they have that really fucking cool book coming out. It was released in Japan, and what it is, it's made by Nintendo. It's supposed to have the official timelines, and it talks about all the games and all the real in-depth stuff, kind of like an encyclopedia thing.
My friend James, who lives in Oregon, he was telling me about that. Yeah.
It looks fucking badass. It comes out, I think, the 29th or something. It comes out the same day as Batman.
Which a lot of people are super fucking pissed off about that book, because they found out their theories on the whole timeline, which I never really kept up to it with it too much. A lot of people are pissed off their theories were debunked. This is fucking bullshit!
Well, it's one of those ones,
Majora's Mask came before!
It goes off like a Star Wars thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, you don't fucking own it. It's somebody else's property. You just happen to like it too much. Don't get me wrong, Zelda's one of the best things ever. I don't really care. if the fucking chronology is different than what it was 12 years ago when I looked it up online, when like the internet was magical and bright,
well, apparently
I won't be that bummed.
Apparently, now they're actually stopping acknowledging it. This one
is Ocarina of Time still the first one?
I believe,
unless there's any new one it might take place before.
From what I've heard, I'm just going to tell them what talk I have with my friend James. Is before Skyward Sword came out, so I believe that
I thought this book came out like right when Skyward Sword.
Maybe
came
it did.
Because in Japan, I thought it came out like the same day. No, it's coming.
I think Skyward. I think it goes going. I mean, I might be wrong here, but I think it goes Skyward Sword, the Minish Cap thing. Because that apparently...
That doesn't really bother me because those are all newer ones, so that's okay if they're prequels.
Then Ocarina of Time,
then Majora's Mask.
And then from Ocarina of Time, it actually splits into 3 different timelines. Which one timeline is the timeline Link stayed in.
Well, that makes sense because that makes sense because Ocarina of Time, Zelda 3, and Zelda 1 are all kind of the same story when it gets down to it.
No, but the 3 different timelines is there's the one Link stayed in, the one Link disappeared from, and then apparently one where Link died fighting Ganon. And from there...
there's the one also where he died. This goes back into like the old-fashioned days of the internet. Back in time when we sat down and read text. But, because what happens, like, America's like... Because apparently each one kind of has its own, like, sequels in a sense. It's mostly there's only, like, Link kind of has a sad life. He only fucking lasts for 2 games and then dies again. And it before it used to be, like Link is actually just a reoccurring character over time.
Uh-huh.
And,
he's reborn and all that.
Yeah, so, like, I just remember, like, it was, like, Zelda, like, I think it was Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask was one Link, then Zelda 1 and Zelda 2 was one Link, and then Zelda 3 and the first Game Boy one, Link's Awakening was one Link. And I remember that one could have had, like, the saddest one ever, because I remember it was, like, because the very end of the game, like, it's, like, what happens is Link goes off on this, he takes a fucking ship out to, like, find Zelda or something like that, if I remember correctly. It's been so long since I played that one.
This is the Game Boy one, right?
Yeah, and he wakes up to find that it's a dream, but he never returns home from that ship voyage.
Huh.
It's like he fucking... Pretty much what it is, it's almost like he goes insane, like in the Watchmen story of, like the... fucking Link's out there putting dead bodies on there.
Like,
he comes back to Hyrule and fucking kills everybody.
He's eating raw pigeons and shit like that, like raw seagulls.
No, he has to eat raw... What the fuck would he eat if he's in Zelda? Like fucking just chickens.
Well, what's a chicken doing out in the ocean? No, he grabs like one of those like jellyfish things, he just grabs it, just starts eating. Oh no, it's like one of the fucking birds from Skyward Sword. He just comes grabs that fucking
just giant bird.
I could have fucking like rode that thing out of here, but fuck it, I'm gonna eat it. And then there's
what was that like? Kind of like that. He first was like the gay character. Well, there's a lot of gay characters in Zelda's one of those. When you're a kid, you realize that there's a lot of gay characters. Because I was like, whoa!
There's like every shop owner.
Yeah.
It's every shop owner.
The green guy who's in
Tingle.
Yeah, especially with like there's like the thing called like the Tingle tuner for like fucking
Tingle tuner.
In Wind Waker you could hook your Game Boy up to it.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
And it was actually kind of cool because it really showed you like one is like when you're a kid, it's like there's 2-player function now in Zelda. Your friend can hold the Game Boy and tell you where to go. He'll be Map Boy. But it's kind of like the Tingle tuner, but just like. That's a horrible sounding name for a child. Like
Tingle Turner. They probably like, let's see how much gay shit we can put. Because Americans, we all know they're super homophobic. So let's see as much gay shit as we can in here and see if they'll still buy it.
Exactly.
Because one of the things I remember, like regarding, one thing I got to say about the Japanese, I love I mean, a good portion of the games they make, I love. But if they put in like a certain like, not just ethnicity, but a certain, I guess. What's the word I'm looking for here? Category, I guess. Oh, certain category. I was
gonna put my arms up just to see if you got. But by the time my arms got to the top, maybe
I would have thought of the right word. Yeah, I gotta read more from the sources. No, but as soon as they try and put in, like, I guess just a certain type of person, they make the biggest stereotype. Like if it's a black people? Dude, yeah. Like,
I just really think the Japanese people, like, they're either really racist against black people because. Look at all the black characters he make. Like, fucking Dead or Alive, who's the black guy? They make him like Dennis Rodman. And they
fuse with Michael Jackson.
Well, he comes more like Michael Jackson later on, but at first he was like started out like very Dennis Rodman-y.
Zach, yeah.
They've actually toned him down a bit, like in the recent. He's still kind of weird, like woohoo!
Well, for instance,
but
you get
like in Dead or Alive 5, they really toned him down. Like I haven't, at least I've never seen it yet. He doesn't have like the fucking Teletubby condom costume anymore.
How's that? When I first was like,
his hair's not all like fucking multicolored and stuff anymore.
And then there was also there's the Mexican guy. There's the wrestler from Street Fighter 4.
Well, they did that too. It's like, well, Dead or Alive made a fucking Mexican character, which everybody thought was the black character because And Dare Life Volleyball, they're like, oh, look, they made a black chick finally. And then by the time you get Dare Life 4 came out, like, oh, apparently she's Mexican.
So, like, for instance, if you make a gay character, he's just over the top fucking gay, like Tingle.
Yeah, Tingle's, like, very gay. Like, creepy gay. Like, when you're a kid, you're like, there's something wrong with that guy. Like, he's not just, like...
Well, he's just floating there in his balloon. Does he, like, hover down, like, grab kids and, like, float away on his balloon? What the fuck happens there?
I don't remember.
Because you had to shoot him down with the slingshot or a bow and arrow to talk.
Yeah, well, in the Wind Waker one you did.
Yeah.
Because he was in Majora's Mask, too. I don't remember what the fuck he did in Majora's Mask. It's been so long since I played that one, too.
Mm-hmm. I don't really
Fuck, we need the Zelda Encyclopedia to figure this shit out. Zelda Encyclopedia. It's what you need. Even if you don't think you do.
Marley and Cisco would probably want to be... No promises, but Marley and Cisco would probably be down for doing, like, a Zelda retrospective.
That'd be fun to talk about Zelda. Because Zelda's really... If I had to think about my top favorite franchises of video games, Zelda's definitely, like, in the top 5.
I like it a lot. I wouldn't call it one of my favorites because I haven't played a whole bunch of them. I've only really played it from like Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask. I never even finished Majora's Mask.
Did you ever play any of the early ones, like 1, 2, 3, and 4?
Not really, no. I mean, I had them for Game Boy, but like you don't realize people say like how hard like the new ones are. The old ones are way fucking harder.
Well, the ones I always thought was one of the harder ones was the fucking Game Boy one, which is actually still one of the best Game Boy games. I always think that one, like let me rephrase it though. Link's Awakening, and then like Pokemon Red and Blue for just like, let's just say regular Game Boy. We're not even including color. I always thought those were like the 2 pinnacle games ever released for that. Mm-hmm. And that's funny because that Link's Awakening was one of the first games.
Super Mario Land 2.
Super Mario Land 2 and Super Mario Land 1. Mainly because that song's so cool too. It's the one and you never see that song, like whenever you get like this Mario disc, it's never fucking on there. It's like, why is that one not on there? That's such a badass.
It's a cock tease, is what it is. You think you're gonna have the best of Mario rarities?
I know, because that one's such
that.
a cool...
You have some Mario Kart on there, maybe. Old Mario Kart.
Yeah, old Mario Kart stuff.
Some Japan only stuff. Like apparently, so every once in a while, there's like a game they'll come to Japan, they'll never bring it to America. It's like Americans just won't fucking get it.
Like that one they released for like the Wii or whatever. It was like the board game. It was kind of like an offshoot version of Mario Party, but it's based on more of a Japanese board game.
Mario's in it.
Yeah, it's like
that's here. That's here. I think
they finally released it, but I think that's been like going on in Japan for a lot longer though.
Well, there's one I think it's like Monopoly or something like that.
Yeah, it's something like that.
Because I looked at the back, I was like a Mario because the characters. I don't know if they were drawn, but they looked like Akira Toriyama characters.
That's cool.
And with Mario, I was like, what the fuck is this? And then I'm like, oh, it's a board game kind of Monopoly because it said make wise investments. You see like Mario with a sack of money and shit. Like
yeah, so it's like Japanese Monopoly really.
But then like like if a deal falls through, it doesn't work out, your character has to commit Sudoku or something like that. Just make her... Is it Sudoku?
Oh, God, I gotta make this number game.
Gotta make the goddamn... Yeah, I'm probably sounding like the most fucking arrogant American right now. What's it actually called? Sudokai? Or what is it?
I wish I knew what it was. I know what you're talking about, and I feel bad not knowing it.
Sword in the gut. There we go.
Yeah.
And you slowly turn, and if you have a friend there, he cuts off your head for
being a failure, you kill yourself pretty much. It's pretty much Japanese stereotype.
Yeah. Well, it's Japanese. They have like, I mean, they come out with some good games and some good consoles, but every once in a while, like the guy that created Game Boy, I feel so bad for that guy because he helped put Nintendo on the map. He gave him so much more. He says, "Hey guys, I got this idea for a thing called Virtua Boy," and then like,
he created the Game Boy and he created something else really big too, which I'm drawing a blank right now.
It wasn't, but this is before like when he was still with Nintendo. He says, "Hey guys, let's make the Virtua Boy. Let's see how this thing goes through." And then like the Virtua Boy just like, you shame us. You know, they just put him like in the corner. And
well, they got like rid of him, so he had to go like fucking work somewhere else. And then he ends up...
he was working there, but they just gave him like mundane jobs that had no effect on anything else. It's to shame him. It's just kind of like, dude, cut the guy a fucking break. Look at everything he did. So he's just like, fuck this, I'm out. And then he died in a fucking car crash.
Yeah, like only like not too long later. But and then the fucking Game Boy Advance came out.
But then how fucked up would it be if you actually like pause like the traffic light at the stop sign where he died? He sees Mario like in the other car.
Just like a fucking mob hit.
Yeah.
Well, back in the day, like Nintendo too, like there was never like all Japanese businesses. There wasn't women weren't allowed to work in any of those either too.
Yeah.
And I think it's still kind of like that. Like I know Japan still has that very like madness.
Well, a lot of like big animes are actually done by women. Like Full Metal Alchemist, that's a woman that I think did the whole. I can't speak for the anime, but the manga.
It's written by a woman.
It's written and drawn by a woman.
I know that like mangas have like a lot of women outdo those ones. I just do a lot of business stuff. Like it's kind of like a man's world.
And I want to say the person.
Just man's world.
I'm drawing a blank on her name, but I want to say the lady who wrote not directed. The director was Shiroko Watanabe, but the lady who wrote Cowboy Bebop is the same chick who wrote Wolf's Rain. So
yeah. That makes sense. They always kind of come around.
Yeah. But anyway, where are we at now?
We're talking about Zelda.
No, I mean time-wise.
We're doing Final Town.
Okay, cool. No, but Zelda, what were you saying?
See, for me, it's...
Yeah, fuck Parker. We said this only you said about Parker. Anyway.
Yeah. See Hansel and Gretel. I haven't seen it yet, but...
At first, I was kind of like, I don't know if I want to see Hansel and Gretel.
Well, after I get to Parker, I was like, damn, we should have went and saw Hansel and Gretel.
Which it just sounds kind of weird, like Hansel and Gretel witch hunters. We just kept it off with that. But anyway, no, there is the
Hansel and Gretel cock hunters.
Cock hunters. You'd have to see it. Like you see Jeremy Renner just chasing a chicken on the poster.
And it's like it's not about dick whatsoever. It's just about them. They fucking hate chickens. At which she just put a bunch of chickens on us, and there was shit everywhere. Just like they have this ultimate like hatred of chicken from this point on.
Not witches, just chicken. Like, look, witches. There's some good ones. There's some bad ones.
This one, it's the fucking chickens. Me and my sister were eating chicken shit 24/7 for 3 weeks.
I got fat off it. Don't ask me how, but she almost put me in a fucking cake for like fucking eating chicken shit. But no, just like he just opens up.
Hunters.
You just open up. You see like a little girl like just feeding like just throwing chicken feed in this little like hen. All these like chickens and hens are happy and all that. All of a sudden they just bust in there, just unloading on all these chickens. Like, no need to thank us. They leave. Just like an hour and a half of that. Because I saw the trailer for Hansel and Gretel. Like, okay, it's rated R, so it might be good. But it was just like, it looks too much like a Paul W.S. Anderson movie. I can't judge it. Haven't seen it.
It really just like, even though I like this movie still, but it looks like Van Helsing. That's really what it looks like. It just looks like Van Helsing, but with witches now.
Yeah.
Because it has they even have like the fucking automatic crossbow and all that stuff in there too.
That stuff looks cool. It's just a lot of times movies that have that, they're very
it's too stylized.
They're too stylized, and you go to see a movie like that for the sake of just seeing some cool action, maybe some cool visual effects. Mm-hmm. But generally, every once in a while, it's kind of always the same plot. And like I said, maybe you want to see that, but I'm just at the point where like a lot of like steampunky fantasy movies. I mean, because a lot of steampunk movies are never really all that like. It doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of thought put into the story.
Well, it always seems like, and they always seem like they always have like 20% steampunk, and then like you never seem to get the full. The only time I ever see full steampunk and full cyberpunk mostly is in fucking Japanese shit.
Yeah, and yeah.
Once again, back to video games. Like, there's this one game called it's called Resonance. I think it was Resonance of Fate or whatever, and it was kind of cool, but it was like
Renaissance of Fate?
Full on like steampunk. It was like an RPG made by Sega.
Oh, okay.
Like the Xbox. It was pretty cool. Mm-hmm. I mean, it wasn't anything like amazing, but it was just like full on like they just said like steampunk, 100%.
That was just like
that's kind of like that BioShock, even though I've only played very little of it, but that just seems like it has.
I never played any of the BioShock games, and I hope to get my Xbox fixed soon because
I told you that story where like I played that game for like 30 minutes and then it froze on me and I just never went back to it.
BioShock Infinity though, I don't know anything about the other BioShock games other than there's a dude like in a scuba gear outfit, but
Scuba Steve.
He's Scuba Steve or he's Big Daddy, whatever the fuck they call him. This new one, BioShock Infinite, it looks badass.
No, that does look pretty cool though. There's actually a buttload of sweet games coming out. Did I tell you about the Pokemon X and Y?
No.
Okay. It's coming out in October. It looks fucking amazing, though. Like, look at the screenshots. The next time you see internet, look at the screenshots. The next time you see internet, like, the next time you're out on the street and you run into internet.
I see a computer with, like, legs just walking.
Just fucking, like, running to him. He's like, hey, watch where you're going, you fucking asshole. He's like, wait a second. Stop. And just fucking start logging. Hey,
I'm being raped.
That's my screen, you fucking idiot. I picture like a Windows 98 just fucking walk down the street. Like, his head's the monitor, his body's like the tower, and he's just got arms and legs.
The internet's a real fucking prick, but damn, he's useful.
Yeah, he's useful. He'll swear and curse at you and fucking malfunction. But
I'm being groped.
But no, they finally have given us a 3D world Pokemon game. It's on like the Game Boy, but like, so it looks kind of like the graphics are kind of interesting looking. It looks like kind of like that kind of 2D-ish Pokemon, but in like a 3D-ish environment. Fucking hard to explain.
It only took them, 15 years?
I know, really. It's like, that's one of those ones, like, we've been wanting this since the N64. It's really taking them longer than that, because Pokemon, if you look,
If they wanted to make like $1 million, that's not a
Just
whole
make a
lot of money
fucking
to say.
Wii U version of like Pokemon Red and Blue.
Well, not even that. Just like $1 million, not even a lot of fucking money this day.
No, yeah,
If you want to
make
make
$1 billion.
if you want to make a fuck ton of money, because I remember just being in the 5th grade. We would have bought it because we fell for Pokemon Snap and we fell for Pokemon Stadium. So we so would have fucking fell for.
And we almost fell for Pokemon Coliseum, but you know what? We fucking got it by this point. We're like, wait a second, we're not buying into your shit.
Well, I thought Pokemon Stadium was that, but then I was like, oh no, it's just
because that's how they sold off Pokemon Stadium.
Wasn't like you just
or not
ran around
Stadium,
a
but
town,
Pokemon Coliseum.
And you just, like,
It was
just
like
a
a
little town.
partial RPG. I didn't really full on play that one. Somebody else got it. It was like once, and once I saw it at somebody else's house, I was like, oh, well, good. I'm glad I didn't pay the $50 for this.
Well, it wasn't like a whole world. It was a little area you could run around.
Yeah, it was.
in.
I think that's more. It was more like take Pokemon Stadium, but give like kind of like a run around. It was almost like the fucking Sonic collection for Sega Saturn.
Sonic Jam.
Yeah, it's like, well, you could kind of run around a bit, but it's not really what you really wanted.
They advertise it like you could play as Sonic in 3D. I'm like, oh my god, you just like when you're a kid, you just imagine the most amazing thing in the world. Like you could play as Sonic in 3D. That's what we wanted for the longest time. Then all of a sudden, like, oh, it's like a museum. Big fucking deal.
It's like, oh, there's these games that I have.
But
I don't know how many times how many times do you own the fucking Sonic original Sega Genesis games? Like, I think I have them on. I have all the Sega Genesis copies of them. I have the fucking, like, Sonic ones for Dreamcast. I have them for the fucking Sonic collection for Xbox. I have the GameCube ones. I have the one for fucking DS. It's just like, it's funny how many times you have. I have this fucking. They released this one on, like, the Windows Phone. It was like Sonic CD, which is fucking badass, because, like.
Really?
It's just strange enough. It's like mostly it's like it plays pretty good for being like a touchscreen game, but you can play as Tails in the fucking game.
Oh, that's badass.
Even though it's kind of like, and it's kind of the other cool thing is you can. It's like these are like features that only like blow you away if you're a Sonic fan. But you can switch the music between the Japanese version and the American one.
Oh, that's cool.
And the music's different throughout the entire game, so that's kind of cool.
I have to look that up.
I'll have to show you that at some point. It's pretty fucking. It actually straight up it loads better than my fucking GameCube version.
I want to spit this out real quick before I forget. But if they wanted to make this is back in the 90s. If they wanted to make or like early 2000s, they wanted to make a shit ton of money just overnight. All they had to do is actually just take that game they just made, Red and Blue, and make it look like, say, Legend of Zelda or like Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Make it look like that, open world, just exact same game, and we would have fucking bought it.
Well, thing is this day and age, I've said this 1,000 times to people that don't ever hear me out loud, and the fucking where the people that need to hear me is in Japan, but is literally if you just took Red and Blue and you fucking crossed it with like a Final Fantasy likeness, that would be the best game. I just think that like it would blow fucking people's minds. I mean, it's like all it has to be is Red and Blue, but just in full on glorious like 3D open world.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They could have done that. That's what they could have done.
But this thing, the X and Y, looks pretty darn.
Is
cool.
It like new characters?
I think it's gonna be. I actually didn't even read it. I was like, I looked at the fucking screenshots. I'm like, I'm fucking sold. I didn't even have to read about it. It's like 4 screenshots sold me on this already.
I haven't finished Black. It was the first game.
I haven't finished White too yet. I keep getting like it's still. I progress through it really slowly. It seems like I pull it out every once in a while when I have some free time.
Be 100% honest with you. I'm not including spin-off ones. Yellow was the last one I completed. Because
Yellow was the one I got 151 on.
Because I played. I got halfway through Silver, and that's just kind of where I lost interest in it for a while. And then I picked up Black, because you guys were telling me how good White and Black was.
That one was really cool.
I've been playing Black, and I've kind of took a break from it. I got to pick it up again. But and I was really enjoying that one. But I'm at the point where, just strictly for the sake of gameplay value, it's a really fun game. I don't give a fuck for the story anymore. But it's
kind of the same stories over and over again. Really,
yeah. When I was a kid, what got me into it was the story. But now it's just kind of like, oh, and just take it a gameplay. It is a good game. So there's that, and then this one I'm gonna have to give a shot once I finish Black. Finish it.
But I was fucking looking online. There's tons of great games coming out though, because there's the fucking March is like the rape month. There's 2 Castlevanias coming out. There's one for the 3D.
Old Man Orange's rape-tastic list of video games.
Month, but it's like there's fucking. Literally, it's like one is rape month for video games from fucking March. It's fucking Castlevania for DS, Castlevania for Xbox, Lord of Shadows 2, fucking Gears of War Judgment. I think that's when the fucking BioShock Infinity comes out, and then some other shit. There's fucking Fire Emblem comes out, which looks actually pretty cool for the DS, like in like a week or two. I think this Sunday almost, not this Sunday, but next Sunday. There's all kinds. There's all this stuff. It's like Hey, that money you were saving up? Guess what? Japan's got a place to put it.
Rape month. And I'm just imagining the fucking rabbit from the GameStop commercials just running around the fucking strap on. Rape month, motherfucker!
that rabbit kind of scares me every single time it comes up. It's like, these are the points you've earned. And then just
no one can see that face you just made at me.
No, they can't. But if you've seen the rabbit, you know that rabbit's face.
Yeah.
Well, I got a couple emails that we got that I want to read. I want to finish reading that last one that we were able to finish last time.
How fucked up would it be if Jacob's email was kind of like, I have 1 week left to live. Please read this email. Like, oh, sorry.
We read the first
internet just went out.
Yeah. Well, here it is again. Well, by rereading it again, I felt like, because he pretty much just explained more of like the Red Hood thing, so.
Okay.
But he says, hi, once again, it's Jacob Sampson. I still love your podcast and grit. Okay, so I have something to talk about. I just bought a comic book, the new 52, Red Hood and the Outlaws. It's pretty freaking awesome. You guys should check out my cousin's videos called Mahelga is a Stupid Kid. Is a stupid kid humor, but still, or something like that. Mahelga is a stupid kid. I think that's what it's called. Also, I just completed a 145-page comic book about a kid who was always picked on, and when he turns 21, decides to become a superhero, but he sucks at it and can't fight, so he carries a 24mm pistol and a kitchen knife and marbles.
Huh.
It's fucking Dennis the Menace when he grows up.
I'll have to check that out.
Dennis the Menace, 21, now he's fucking pissed.
I'm interested.
I like to throw in old video game references like is this one that fucking Jacob Sampson, did he just write a 145-page comic book?
Or did he actually make it if he wrote one?
Because he says, I like to throw in old video game references like, he says when he was 12 years old, he broke his arm and legs from trying to grind on a rail of Sonic shoes. That is fucking badass. Those Sonic shoes I still want. I keep looking for them on eBay and I can't find them. I wish I would have just bought them in fucking 2001 when they came out, because they're like $120. That would have came in handy though in the long run.
Oh yeah.
And he carries around a Link shield and just a bunch of fun things. So that's it. Thank you. Bye.
Well, Jacob,
it sounds badass. I do like anything video games and Sonic the Hedgehog and Link related.
Well, totally go. If I don't know if you have it written or if you have it drawn out, but either way,
I'd
like
fucking
to check
send
it out.
to us. I'd love to read it.
Yeah, same here.
And then I got this other one in here somewhere.
As far as grit goes, just gonna whore out my shit for a second. I think I will have a handful of pages up by at least Monday, I want to say. So, yeah. Anyway, you can find actually, we don't have any of issue 2 on oldmanorange.com, but I think there's a link to my Facebook and there's a link to Grit at my Facebook. So yeah, it's also Grit at facebook.com/Grit comic book series. So yeah. While you're still looking up the email.
Oh my gosh, is that
the internet? Do it again. The internet here is really fucking sucks.
Yeah, it's just so hard to load them up right here sometimes. And then like Yahoo works like a pain in the ass sometimes on the phone. I don't know why. I know it just tells you like, why don't you use the desktop, yo?
Let me try my phone might work. We'll see what happens here. But yeah, keep looking up, and I will just keep awkwardly talking to the microphone until we find this thing.
Oh, I don't think I'm gonna be able to pick up internet.
I might. Oh, this.
If you can get internet, hand me your phone.
Got no service at the moment. Sometimes I just gotta type something in for it to actually acknowledge it. Like, oh yeah, we do got it. Sometimes it's like, oh fuck.
I just got this. The only thing I have loaded up here is Barack Obama wants, or actually Joe Biden wants me to fucking call up my Republican, representative, and tell him that like we don't want automatic weapons. Which I'm like, yeah, that guy's gonna listen to me. I'm like, Joe, I don't know what you
didn't
think.
Send us $3 The least you can do is tell.
The least you can do is fucking call. It won't take you any time.
I'm gonna step away from the microphone and step near the window real quick. 1 sec. Okay, I got 1 bar. Oh, it's fucking foggy all of a sudden. I got 4G.
Well, it's supposed to rain tonight. This doesn't help anybody out there who doesn't live like in California. But
I just got some internet. So here, why don't you just log in to your thing if you can? It's at yahoo.com.
Yeah, type in Old Man Orange Podcast at yahoo.com when you get to the thing.
I gotta stand right here where there's reception. You don't want to say the
password out loud.
For the fucking podcast. Old Man Orange Podcast?
Yeah, yahoo.com. I'm trying to log in right now. If I can't log... I'm fucking pissed. I just can't stand that. I get here, and then all of a sudden, like, it doesn't work. I had it sitting there for so long.
A warning.
We'll just have to do another podcast.
Phishing site. Ignore this warning.
Oh, I got into it. Okay, I got it here.
Okay,
here we go.
All right.
Fucking awesome. It didn't screw up for once. Good, and I'm glad the listeners didn't have to sit here and like go like, oh fuck, it won't load, fuck.
You have like add like a digital like a drum roll over that, like.
Okay, here we go. Hi, this is from Ty Cal. Hi, I'm a new listener, and you guys are great. We both love movies. My favorite is The Bronx Tale, and my favorite superhero is Martian Manhunter. You guys are great, and I'm telling you about you guys to my friends and coworkers. So thank you for making podcasts and keep them going. And Pokemon rules. Pokemon fucking does rule.
Yes, it does. Martian Manhunter's badass.
Martian Manhunter's badass.
He doesn't get enough credit.
And The Bronx Tale, another good one too.
Yeah, I dig that movie.
But Pokemon, I think that's a good place to end it at. Pokemon. It's what you want. I've always said if there was one fantasy world I'd always want to live in, it'd be the Pokemon one.
Right on.
I think that one, or the Legend of Zelda one.
Legend of Zelda.
You know what? That'd be pretty fucking cool too.
Before
I don't think I'd want to live in the Metroid one. I think as much as I like Metroid though, it just seems like lonely space. There's all kinds of shit that wants to kill you in every room you go into.
Yeah. That's only in like...
Metroid kind of comes across, it's like, I feel bad, you land on this planet with all these like life forms have been living here and stuff, and you just go there and just start shooting the shit out of everything. This door won't fucking open. Shoot it!
So it's also you can find more
weapons. There's this
weapons.
poor creature that just goes back and forth and harvests stuff. Shoot it! Oh, it won't fucking die? Shoot a missile at it! But I think
also you can get some more weapons.
Yeah, get more weapons. If that doesn't kill it, we'll get something else.
Like Joe Biden's trying to stop Samus Aran.
She's using automatic weapons. Do you need that to kill a bunch of stuff? Yes, if it's a giant like monster, I do.
Worm that can fly.
If it's Ridley, I need something that shoots fast. If it doesn't have a large clip, I won't be able to defeat it. But that's where we're going to leave it at. I'm Spencer Scott Holmes.
I'm Ryan Dunigan.
And we will see you some other time.
Goodbye.